by the people that are employed, at the beginning. Now when they are no longer happy, they want to move on, and then they start talking bad about the company, taking the company cell phone, phoning their clients. What? Don't even go there. That thing is dying. It's no longer existing. That's why we also no longer working for that company. You know what? That company is no longer there, bro. I'm telling you. And then some of them, they'll be like shocked when they see us, running, conducting a funeral service. Like, but they said you guys are no longer existing. We're like, we are existing. They are not existing. We are existing. They are not existing in this company, but we are existing.
Right.
They are no longer existing in this company, but the company is existing. And I can imagine at that time, bro, I'm telling you, a lot of people went out. A lot of people stopped paying their premiums at Global Funeral Services. My brother, if you want to see growth in this kind of a business, you must be a people's person. You must love people.
Welcome everybody to the NCS podcast. My name is Collensilaulepodcast, and today we have a special guest. We have Emmanuel Nkuna, the founder of Growth4biz Funeral Services. We had a great conversation. We had a short conversation though, right? Which leads me to say that finding guests of this caliber is another job on its own. These individuals are busy with their own things, right? So they are basically giving us some favors, helping us out in terms of putting together this content, right? So we kindly ask that you give us the bare minimum, and the bare minimum is you liking our content, you sharing our content, and importantly, you watching our content, right? Because we see it on the YouTube analytics that there are people who are actually watching our content, there are people who are actually liking our content, but they're watching it for like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever the case may be, right? So we kindly ask that if the podcast is 2 hours, kindly watch it for an hour. If the podcast is an hour, kindly watch it for 30 minutes. If the podcast is 1 hour, 30 minutes, kindly watch it for 45 minutes or 40 minutes, right? On the 28th of December, 2024, we're going to have a webinar that is essentially an introduction into business, a webinar where we basically help individuals be more clear about the business that they want to start. Why is that? Because there's a lot of people out there who are confused about what business to start, right? They are probably in their 9-to-5s, they're probably not employed, whatever the case may be. They are confused. They have some money saved up, but they don't know where to put it, right? So this webinar is not a get-rich-quick scheme, right? It's a webinar where we give you all the information that you need to be more clear about the business that is right for you, right? So if you're interested, in the description below, there's a link that you can click on, which will lead you to a video that will explain everything, right? So if you're interested, go ahead, go in the description, click on the link and watch the video that will explain everything. Thirdly, if you're interested in becoming a guest, in the description, there's an email that you can use to notify us about your interest in becoming a guest. If you cannot find the email on the description of this video, go ahead on the NCS Podcast YouTube channel. There's an About section, and there's a button that you can click on that will reveal the email that you can use to let us know about your interest in becoming a guest. Thank you, Mr. Nkuna, for coming through. Thank you for honoring the invitation. Welcome to the NCS podcast. I know you. For the people, you could just let them know who you are and where you're from.
Thanks, Mr. Slaule. This is Emmanuel Nkuna. Greetings to the viewers of the NCS. This is Emmanuel Nkuna, a boy from the village called Mashonamini in Mpulu. That is me.
Right. No, thank you for that. What do you do right now for a living? What do you do for a living? Do you have a 9-to-5, or are you focused on the business? Yes.
What I do for a living, I'm employed. I have a permanent job that I'm doing, a day-to-day job, and also I'm a director of Growth4biz Funeral Services, and also a director of Material Protection Services. So that's what I do.
Right. Matlari Protection Services and Rabutle Funerals. Yeah, which of the two businesses, which one did you start with? Which one did you start with? Or, yeah, please, which one did you start with?
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, I was in the security industry before.
Yeah.
I was in a partnership in a company called Amy Security and Trading. We call it's ASAT, the abbreviation. After some time, we decided to go separate ways with my business partner, and then we had to sell a asset. And then after the sale of asset, that is when I decided to turn my consultation company, along with trading.
You pausing there, Mr. Nkuna? You paused.
With the consultations, and am I still live?
Yeah. You just came back on right now.
So,
yeah.
Sorry about that. The connection here.
It's all good.
So after the sale of asset, that's when I established a funeral services. After somebody sold the idea to me to say, you know what, I think you can do better in this business, in this funeral industry. How about you start a company, and then I will be able to assist. The person was looking for a certain funeral parlor, and he was about to retire. I said, you know what, how about you come and join this industry? Then I was like, no, I can't join that industry. I'm very young for that industry, because that industry, it's old age people dominated. So I mean, like at my age, at my very young age, and then joining that industry, I cannot do it, and I'm even scared of dead people. And he persuaded me, and then I ended up agreeing after the passing of my mother, because that's where I think I gained the courage, I gained the strength to know what to can face a dead person. You know, I'm no longer scared of a dead person. You know what? I decided, you know what? Let me just join this industry, because now I'll be able to handle a dead person. So I think I'll be able to cope in this funeral space. So let me just like join the funeral space. However, it was not easy when we established that local funeral services. You know, but by the grace of God, we had people like Mam Lucy Konto from Top's Funeral. She played a vital role in assisting me establish this business. Because I'll go there for consultation. She will always share the information. She was not stingy with the information. Actually, she would share everything, all the things that I wanted to know, starting to the coffin suppliers, you know, the association. She was the one who was giving me all that information. And the later stage, I met Mr. Msindi Sindoma, funeral, Mr. Msindi Sindoma, the late director of Ndoma Funeral Services. He was also able to assist me with certain information. And I also went and meet Mr. PT Msanga, the owner of PT Funerals. He was also able to assist me with the information, telling me about the do's and don'ts in this industry if you want to succeed in this industry. You know, sometimes when you establish something, you get excited, and then, you know, you do even things that, you know what, at the later stage, you even regret, why did I do it? Because they cannot even like assist you in helping. I mean, they cannot help you sustain your what you call your business. So he was there to be at the later stage. Also, I met Mr. Elias Sambo. He also played a vital role, the director of Mulaseki Funerals. He also played a vital role, because certain things, when remember, in each and every business that we're entering, there are certain laws and certain regulations that we have to comply with. You know, you assist me that you must comply with this and this, and compliance side was always there to assist me. And then how you deal with clients like this, How do you handle situations like this? He was always there for me. Those people, they played a vital role in establishing environmental funeral services. That's why even today, they're still my brother, she's still my mother. We still have a good relationship with them.
Right. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. So you started Ansat security services, Ansat with security services with a partner, right? And then you sold that business, and then you started Lwabunhle Consultations for security companies, right?
No, Lwabunhle Consultation was there already. Lwabunhle
Already.
Consultation was there
Okay.
already.
Or okay.
Or maybe
Okay.
should I take you back? The name Lwabunhle, the name Lwabunhle is the combination of my name and my daughter's second names.
Okay.
My daughter's second name is Lwabunhle, and then my second name is Lwazi. So I combined the two. I just took the ZA and say Lwabunhle. So it's the combination of our name, our second names.
Right.
So we had that Lwabunhle as a consultation company, where it was not for a funeral business. And then after the sale of assets, after we have parted with, I've parted with my business partner at Asset, I then decided to use the proceeds that I got at that site during the sale of that company that we sold to Mr. Musala, this other business person at the Bakersford. After getting those proceeds, and then I used that money as the capital to fund this new baby that I want to establish called Lwabunhle Funeral Services, turning Lwabunhle Consultation into Lwabunhle Funeral Services.
Okay. Right. Interesting stuff. It's interesting how you pivoted
And then at the later stage, I established again a security company called Matari Protection Services.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting. If you sold Ansat Security Services and then now you're starting another security company, like what made you sell that company in the first place? That first company, the Ansat Security Services.
Sometimes in business, when you in a JV, a joint venture, or maybe you are a co-director in a certain company, there are times whereby things tend to get sour, or maybe you see that things are going to be sour, and then you just have a mutual agreement to say, you know what, why don't we just go our separate ways, and then we see what does a future hold for us. That's why we decided, my business partner there at Assad, to say, you know what, let us go separate ways, so that we can grow individually, and that's when we decided to sell the company. We just put a price tag on it, and then I didn't take even time, to get the buyer, because that company was well established. It had cars, it had guns, it had uniform, it had all the things, all the security aids that you can mention. It had all the paperwork was up to standard, because the person who bought the company couldn't wait to have that company to be his, because they wanted to use it like anything. They wanted the company that is already running. You see, so that's why we got a buyer very quick. Then we decided to go separate ways. I got my proceeds, and then I decided, you know what, let me invest in another business. And then that's when I got that business idea to start this funeral business. Yes.
Yeah, but your love for security never really went away. Yeah,
I love security with all of my heart. Security, it's here. It's in my vein now. It runs in my blood. I know everything about security, all the processes about security. I know them. So that's why, what I said, let me just now focus to the security company on my own. So, yeah.
Right. Now that's very interesting to kind of pivot and basically let go of one business and restart something that's similar later on. You spoke about is it Mrs. Lucy who helped you? Yeah, Lucy Mkonto, who helped you with establishing Lwabunhle Funerals, basically giving you advice. And you say this person also owned a funeral service, if I'm not mistaken. Did I miss that?
That's
Is
very
that
much
true?
correct. She's a director of Talks Funeral.
Right. But she
Yes.
helped you start a funeral services business, basically. Yeah,
Yes.
no, that's interesting. And you mentioned, I think, was it Mr. Elias? Mr. Elias, who also helped you, also owns another funeral, PT Funerals. You also mentioned that. Like these
Doma
people,
Funerals.
yeah, these people are basically helping you become their competitor. How, how,
He,
how does that? Yeah,
my brother, in this in the business space, ne?
yeah,
Whenever you see somebody who is doing what you are doing as a competitor, it becomes a problem. But whenever you see that person as a colleague, then you will have peace of mind. Because once you look at that person in the eye of competitor, you won't have peace of mind. You'll be like, you know what, this one is invading my space now. Why are we having this person in this space?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I thought in this space I am alone, But those
right,
people, they understand business. They know that in business, we have the companies like ShopRite. ShopRite sells food. Shaker
right,
sells food. Woolworth sells food. But all these three companies
right,
or shops, they have their target markets. Their target market are not the same. You understand?
right,
So the people who assisted me here, they knew the kind of market that they have or that they are targeting.
right.
And I also coming with my kind of a market that I am targeting.
Mm,
So we won't see each other as competitors, We'll see each other
mm,
as colleagues. That's why it will be simple for them to assist me with any knowledge that I need or with any ideas that I need because, they are looking at me as well as a colleague than a competitor. That's why they never develop anything or any hatred when I enter the business space. They welcomed me. They showed me. It's like when you're entering in somebody's territory, and then that somebody welcomes you, and I'm like, hey, let me speak just offer a little bit. When we're in funerals or weddings, the first item is opening, and the second item is what? It is welcoming.
welcoming, yeah.
I did the opening
Mm-hmm.
by opening Robertson Funeral Services. And
Right.
then I was the welcoming part
Mm,
within the industry.
yeah.
And there are those who said, we welcome you. Feel free in this industry. We will assist you. We are able to carry you. We're able to help you grow. You understand?
Right.
We will help assist you to grow.
Right.
So those are the people that I've mentioned. They were at that time, they were on the other side, they were the owners or maybe they were the family members of this industry. And then they were able to assist somebody, and then they adopted me as their child to say, you know what, we'll be able to assist you in terms of compliance, in terms of what in this industry, the do's and don'ts of this industry. We will be there, we'll be able to assist you. So those people, they never looked at me as a competitor. Even today, they're not looking at me as a competitor. They're still looking at me as their colleague. That's why we often call each other, we are colleagues in this industry.
Right. Now, that's very interesting what you mentioned there. You mentioned that these people knew their target market, and which is why they were able to, intervene and help you out. Would you say that is a problem in our communities where individuals run businesses and they don't know their target market, and therefore they are scared of individuals starting the same businesses as they are? Do you think that could be one of the major problems in our communities?
I think that also plays a very important part
Yeah,
or important role in establishing a
yeah,
business.
yeah.
When you enter in a certain business space,
Right.
you must first know your target market.
Mm.
You understand? It's
Right.
very much important. It is there even when you draw up a business plan, you must know your target market. When I'm entering there, when I'm going there, who are the people that I'm targeting to be my
Right.
client base? You understand? So when you target a certain a target or certain market, it won't be an issue whenever somebody comes into that space or that business space and then say, I want to establish this kind of a business, because already you know your target market. Our target market are not the same. Yes, it's fine. We might be having people paying on a monthly basis and all that, but there is that target market that you are having as an individual. And then not to say that if the people, they are not what you are targeting, and then when they decide to join, and then maybe you change them or and say you're not my target market. No, you understand? But there is that certain group, you understand, and say this is my target market. If I can have this kind of people, you understand, this is what I'm targeting. You understand? So, but if you don't understand, understanding business starts from there. To say, you know what, do you understand your target market? Because I mean, like Brother Colin can open a funeral parlor and then come to me for ideas, and I'll be able to assist Brother Colin, and I'll tell him about the do's and don'ts, because I was assisted by somebody. For me to have that knowledge, I was assisted by somebody. Why then don't I assist somebody who wants to enter the funeral space? Because it's surely Colin has his own agenda. I have my own agenda. I have my own business plan, and you also have your own business plan. You have your own strategy. I have my own strategy. Then why would I have a problem when Colin wants to come and join this business space? You see, so that's where if you do not understand your target market, or you don't have your own strategy, then it will be a problem when somebody comes and invade that space.
Very powerful stuff. Very powerful stuff. I personally think it's a problem in our community where people, they don't want to share information. Right? They don't want to share information. I think what you mentioned there is very essential in terms of business individuals understanding its target audiences. Right. So yeah, we spoke about Lwabuntle funerals. If you can you please talk to me about your the people that you were recruiting, your first clients? Can you talk to me about that whole process? Because you need to make money now. You started Lwabuntle, it's registered. Talk to me about you recruiting people and as employees. Yeah.
Thanks, brother. By the time we joined this funeral space, it was that time whereby there were still those pay points. They were still existing, you know. You go maybe to a special, there is this pay point for pensioners. You go to tribal authority, pay point, you go to Mashona Mini, you go to, to those places where they were paying the pensioners. Then we sat down, you know what, let me, I remember my first car when I entered this business space, it was the Hyundai Accent. This other old one. At the later stage, it got stolen. You know what, Musi, when sabotage is there, when they try to sabotage you, say, you know what, this one, now it's invading our space now, they tried to sabotage me. But it was not easy, to tell you the honest truth. It was not easy. If it was somebody else in my shoes, that person could have collapsed. That person could have, like, you know what, shut down the business, you know what, and say, you know what, I do not want this anymore. But by the grace of God, I am today surviving, still standing strong. At the beginning of this company, we had that car, and then we had that family member that I told you that that family member was working for as a particular funeral parlor, and then sold the idea to me. And then the person would go around with a group of people, canvassing, marketing, doing the door-to-door, going to the pay points, making sure that we get clients. I started with 2 clients. Can you imagine? 2 clients. And those 2 clients were my family members. And even today, they're still here. And even today, I haven't worked for them yet. I haven't done that items with them yet. So can you imagine? We're now 6 years. 6 years down the line, these people are still here, trusting me. They watched this company grow from its up and downs. They watch each and every step, baby step. When the company is growing, there will be those baby steps.
Right.
Baby steps. Yeah, so they watched each
Right.
and every step, and it was very difficult. And then at a certain point, whereby the name of the company was there were people who tried to tarnish the name of the company by the people that are employed. At the beginning, now when they are no longer happy, they want to move on, and then they started talking bad about the company, taking the company cell phone, phoning the clients. You know what? Don't even go there. That thing is dying. It's no longer existing. That's why we also no longer working for that company. You know what? That company is no longer there, bro. I'm telling you. I mean,
These
you
are
can imagine the
employees.
number of clients that already I had at that time, that the company had at that time. And then now somebody come in and tell people that, you know what, that company is no longer existing. I'm no longer there. And then some of them, they'll be like shocked when they see us, running, conducting a funeral service. They're like, but they said you guys are no longer existing. We're like, we are existing. They are not existing. We are existing. They are not existing in this company.
Yeah.
But we are existing. They are no longer existing in this company, but the company is existing. And then that's why people started to see that, no, man, this was just a witch hunt. You know what? They started to rejoin again, because they were misled. And I can imagine at that time, bro, I'm telling you, a lot of people went out. A lot of people stopped paying their premiums at Global Funeral Services.
And this is because of
to a point whereby
employees. Yeah.
Sorry?
Is this because
the
of
former
the employees? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because when you employ somebody, will come and say, I'll recruit. They start to recruit within their families. They start to recruit in their families. They start to recruit within their families. So most of the time, those that where they are family members, and then when they don't see them going to that same company, then they start telling lies. You know what? That company is no longer existing. That's why we decided to that company does not have money anymore. It is going to shut down at any time. You understand? So, but those people don't come back and tell us that, why I stopped paying, because somebody told me that, you are just shutting down. So that is why we decided. But at that point, I had a mind of stopping operating. I had the mind of saying, and then I spoke to my brother, my elder brother, about this. I told him, like, look, my brother, I invested a lot of money in this. And some of the money that I'm getting, like my salary, I'll invest it in the business. And then now this is what is happening. I think I just have to quit. That old man said one thing very important to me. Look, my young brother, remember the reason why you started before you quit. You started because of those people. You started because you had the backup of those people that you employed. Or you started having a vision after the idea was sold to you. Sometimes running a company without a vision, along the way, you will cease to exist because you do not have a vision. And when you have a vision, you must have goals. Must set goals and time frames that at least after 3 years, this is where I want to see this company. After 5 years, this is where I want to see this company. So if you don't have all those things, you will quit whenever you are faced with challenges. And who promised us that when you enter business space, you won't have challenges? And just show me one successful person who has never kissed failure. No one. This thing is like a race. You fall, you tremble, you just rise up, you dust yourself, you continue the journey. This is a race. You don't fall and then you sleep there, and then the other people, they just pass. You are lying down there. You fall, you rise up, you dust yourself, you find yourself, you collect yourself, you find the points where you went wrong and say, where did I go wrong? You see, so And at that stage, it reminded me of some of the words that were said by one of my colleagues or the people that I used to consult to, who said, in business space, avoid family. Not that you don't want them to work, not that you don't want them to be successful, but if you want your company to run smooth or to be successful, try to avoid family members. Because the people who tried to destroy me were family members. The people who were sharing the information, lies, speaking lies, were family members. That's where my eyes were open to say, you know what, it is true. What this master told me, it is true. Then I realized, then I re-strategized again. I sat down and then I reviewed all my strategies and see which one is working for me, which one is not working for me. And if it's not working for me, I eliminate. And then I go with the one that is working for me. That is why, by the grace of God, today I'm still able to render this service to the community. And the way we started, we only started in one small office, and then we're at the later stage we established other offices in other areas. That's why now we are having 4 offices. Be it Push as a head office, we have another one at Panamini, we have another one at Mawushu, we have another one at the Kapo. And if you can take a look at the way it is now, I'm only saying God's grace. I'm only saying God's grace. So I am like thinking now that if I had decided to quit, wouldn't I regret now? Yeah.
No.
So those are the challenges that I came across.
Yeah, that's a very interesting story you have there. The moment when you experience that process of where employees are basically telling people, all these negative things, I'm sure you had a strategy when you were given that advice to basically remember why you started. What were the things that you started implementing to kind of mitigate the risks of experiencing the same things again, of employees basically, rebelling and basically telling what did you implement to avoid the same issues happening again?
Brother, I took a drastic decision to say, you know what, let me rather work with strangers. Because a stranger will understand that the reason why they're waking up and come to Luabushe. With family members, when you employ them, they tend to think that they are the owners or they are the co-partners. I don't know, because they have that element of thinking that they are the partners of this company. So even if when you want to tell them things, certain things you will tell them, but they will even act against you. You understand? So that's why I decided, no what, let me do away with this thing of having family. And then if I am not that I'm not going to employ any family member. Whoever wants to join me, that is a family person, our family member. That person should know why they are at Luabushe. They are not at Luabushe for me, and they are not at Luabushe as partners. They are at Luabushe as what? As the workers at Luabushe. So they should just know their place. No. So I think that also assisted me, because that's when I started to see the business picking up.
Very interesting that you're saying that it's not that you're not going to employ them anymore. They must just know their place. Very interesting stuff. Considering the trajectory at which the business has been growing, right? What is the skill that you think contributed a lot in terms of the growth of the business? What is the essential skill that one would need to grow a business like this? We hope you're enjoying the value. We hope you're enjoying the content that we are providing, right? The people that we are interviewing have actually went through process. right? They've went through the process themselves, right? A lot of people have so much potential, but they're still stuck. They still feel stuck. They still feel like they need to start a business, but they haven't yet. Some of them, it takes them 5 years to actually figure things out. Some of them, it takes them 10 years to actually make a decision. Some, it takes them 20 years, and some even more, right? We want to help you get rid of that confusion, right? We don't want you to take 10 years to actually start the business that you really want to start, right? So in just 2 hours, what if I told you you could actually figure things out, what business you actually can start, right? In just 2 hours, we can help you with that, right? On the 28th of December, 2024, we're going to have a webinar, which is essentially an introduction to business, to help you get rid of the confusion that may exist as to what business can you start, right? If you're interested, click the link in the description, right? Click the link in the description. There will be a video that will explain everything, right? Go ahead and click the link in the description. Secondly, if you're interested in becoming a guest, right? If you're interested in becoming a guest, there's an email in the description. Go ahead and use that email to let us know about your interest in becoming a guest. If you cannot find the email, go ahead and go to the About section of the NCS Podcast YouTube channel. There's a button that you can click on to reveal the email and let us know about your interest in becoming a guest. Thirdly, putting together guests of this caliber is another job on its own, right? Putting together guests of this caliber is another job on its own. So we kindly ask you to like the video. We kindly ask you to share the video, right? We kindly ask you to watch the content as well, because we do see some people watching the content, but they watch it for like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, right? So we kindly ask you, if the podcast is 2 hours, kindly watch it for an hour at least, right? If the podcast is 1 hour, kindly watch it for 30 minutes, right? Would really appreciate that. This will let the YouTube algorithm know that the content that we're creating here is valuable, right?
My brother, if you want to see growth in this kind of a business, you must be a people's person. You must love people. And you must treat people very well, the way you'd like them to treat you. You must treat your clients. Your clients, remember, your clients are your bosses. You understand? You treat your clients well, and then you see the growth in your business. And then you render the service according to the way you promise them that you render it. And then you will never have a problem with it. I think that also assisted us here at services, because when we render our services, we go all out when we render our services, and we give the service that we promised them. So that is why that is the contributing factor to the growth of this company. Number one, know your clients, respect your clients. You must know that your clients are your bosses, and also give the best service and that you promised them at the beginning, according to the way you said you will do it. And then you will see God is just the last thing, thing to beef it up. But honestly speaking, the only thing that helps those things that I've just mentioned, treat your clients very well, know them, respect them, render the services according to the way you promised them, and go all out for your clients, and then that's where you see business growth. And also marketing. Marketing is also very, very important. Marketing strategy that you are using, you understand, it is the one that can assist you into the growth of your company. Remember, with us as young people, we have our own marketing strategies that works for us. The marketing strategy that they have currently employed, it is really working for me. So I wouldn't want to change it. You understand? And we're really getting people through those strategies that we have employed.
Very interesting. If you could just let us know again about the locations of your business. Well, what are the locations? I remember you mentioned the locations. You have multiple locations. Can you mention them quickly for the people to know?
We are at Mkhuhlu. Mkhuhlu, we are between two mountains funerals and also a light funeral. We are the neighbors of Elite Funeral.
Right.
And also we have another one at Mashona Mini, our kiosk, our Smolanyana office there, where they just pay, no arrangements. It is next to Punetani Tavern. There's a red container that we're operating from. And there's another one at Mawushu next to Viva Garage, and the other one is at Edward in Kabukwe. Yes.
Yeah, so no, I really appreciate the growth that are basically that you're basically telling us about, and considering what you've mentioned about the things that basically helped you grow, knowing your client, your marketing strategies. I really appreciate that, because I think it's very important for business individuals to understand that if you do not know your target audience, or you do not know the people that you actually want to provide the services to, it's not really gonna work out. Right? It's not really gonna, you're gonna come off as a stubborn individual, like you mentioned. Individuals who had the same businesses as you helped you out, right? But because they knew their target audience, they didn't come off as stubborn. They came off as helpful individuals. So you knowing your part, or playing your part in terms of knowing your audience, puts you in a better position to basically let other people that you are about that business of helping individuals in that funeral business, in that construction business, whatever the case may be. Very interesting stuff. Is there anything else that you want to share with the people about your business before we basically close the podcast?
Yes, Alwabucha Funeral Services has premiums starting from as little as 150. That covers for 10 people. We also have another one that goes for 200 rand, takes 12. And then we also have another one that takes 14 for 250. And then we also have another one that takes 16 for 330. And all our members, they get caskets, the standard caskets. All our members, we don't have that one, no, that one. We only provide a casket. Right. So if they want to find us, they can follow us on Facebook. On Facebook, we're there, Lwabuhle Funeral Services. They can go there, check our services there. They will see for themselves that when we say when we render services, we go all out. And also, they can find us on our WhatsApp number, which is 060. Sorry, it's 064 843 4040. 064 843 4040. Or they can use this alternative one, 071 9549266. 071 9549266. We also do have a landline, 013 110 2937. 013 110 2937. They can also contact us for emergencies on 064 843 4040. 064, the very same number that they're using for WhatsApp is the number that they must also use for emergencies, in case of emergency, or 081 4959649. 081 4959649. That's where they will be able to contact us.
Right. No,
they can really follow us on Twitter. We are there on TikTok. We are there with the Federal Services. We are there also on Instagram.
Right. Interesting. No, Mr. Nkuna, thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming through to share your knowledge on how you basically grew the business and letting us know about Lwabuhle Funerals. Trust me, I have witnessed the services that they provide. Their services is impeccable. I really love what they do. Right. So if you're interested, I'll leave the contact details. All the contact details that he mentioned, I'm going to leave them in the description below. So go ahead and check that out. My name is Collensilaulepodcast. Until next time, this is the NCS podcast. Thank you.